Hi, welcome back to The Art of Frosting. I'm Liz Larson with some cake decorating basics. Today I'm going to show you something really fun. Giant roses on big marshmallows to make a cake topper for a wedding cake. Actually, this could be used for a sweet little shower cake or really anything you want. I just want to show you this great bouquet. Let's get started. For today's project, I'm going to be using a number 23 star tip, a number 4 writer, my good old standbys, the ones I always use. What's different is today I'm going to use a number 127 rose tip. This is a big one. And a number 70 leaf tip. It's also a wide flat tip. I'm going to be using some giant marshmallows, some parchment. This is a marker that I'm going to use to mark garlands with. You can also cut a cup in half. You can use measuring cups, all kinds of things, but this just happens to be a marker that's made just for that. I'm going to use some skewers. These are food grade bamboo skewers. I am using a pair of fresh, clean, new clippers. These are for cutting my skewers, and a pair of scissors. You might actually want an adult pair of scissors. I could only find a child's pair of scissors today. Welcome to my world. Okay guys, let's get started. As you can see, I'm starting here with a 6-inch round. It's pretty common for the top tier of a wedding cake to be a 6-inch round. So we're using that, and I've also rounded the top just slightly. You guys see me do that a lot of times. So I'm going to use a marker. If you can see this, this is just a marker. Wilton has these, but you can also use the side of a cup, a half of a paper cup, whatever you want. You just want something that has this nice arced edge. And you use this to come in and mark your garlands all the way around like that. So it kind of gives you a guide for how your garlands are going to be spaced. So I am just putting a very simple zigzag garland. We start out with light pressure and a quick zigzag. We build our pressure in the middle and lighten the pressure as we come up. So that was with the number 23 star tip, the one I always use. So this is just going to be real basic, and I'm going to come back in and just drop a string. You guys have seen me do this before too, but I'll show you. You attach, let it drop, move very slowly, and reattach. And I want a double string here, so I'm going to attach, let it drop above, drop very slowly, and attach. And between, I want to drop 2 loops, same method, let it drop very slowly, and attach. Now notice I didn't move my tip too much, I just let that icing drop. I'm going to fill in with a little corneli lace. Corneli lace works great on a wedding cake because it's lacy, it's very simple, and you can use it as a fill-in anywhere. And I want to just fill in this little area before I drop my 4-inch cake base for my cake topper on it. You could also do this before your garlands, but I kind of wanted to see what it looked like without it and then decide after whether I wanted it, and I decided that I do. Next I have an iced 4-inch round that I'm just going to place right here on the top. Now this is going to be totally covered by our roses, but we have it blocked and we want to get it on there nice and centered. I'm going to come back in and cover the edges. Now this cake does not have a board underneath because it's very, very lightweight, but it will be doweled to keep it in place. Once I'm fairly certain that it is centered, I want to come in with my dowel, come all the way down through the cake. I don't want this little 4-inch round coming off. I've got a brand new pair of clippers. Please don't use your regular garden clippers for your cakes. I cut it off and push it down in. So that little cake is not going anywhere. You can see that. just for good measure, I'm going to use my number 23 star tip and give this just a tiny border around. Next, I want to show you how to make this giant rose on a marshmallow and skewer. You can see in comparison to the cake how large it really is. And so they're just fantastic looking. I'm going to take this one and place it right in the top. There you can go. You can see that it stands up a little bit. Look how large that is. All right, you guys ready? Let's get started. So we're going to start out with a really big marshmallow, a pair of scissors, and a bamboo food grade skewer. Now I've cut this off. It's about 3 inches long. You can actually work with them as long as you want and then cut them off later. I'm just starting with a short one. I'm going to take my big marshmallow and cut diagonally across like that. And then I want to cut it one more time here, like that. And you can see I've ended up with a triangle, and that's what I want. This is a little long, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it off and just stick my skewer right up in there. So basically what I'm doing is I'm creating a large, lightweight base for my rose. Next, I've got a number 127 rose tip. This is a big one, guys. Now, I think you could accomplish this probably with your 124 or 125, but I thought it would be fun to show you this big rose tip. Okay, I'm going to try one more time and keep my bag out of the shot. I've actually got my arms wrapped around the camera here so I can show you this. Now, if you haven't noticed, I do have my bag striped as usual. So I've done my nose cone, and 1, 2, 3 petals. 1, 2, 3, 4. You notice those overlap, and I'm starting to angle away from myself. And next 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now notice I do have some marshmallow showing through, and that's actually okay in this case because we're going to actually make them pretty 3D and they'll touch the cake without smashing into the cake. So it's actually okay. See, I have a nice little hint of pink, not too much, just enough to define my petals. So here's another placement. I'm going to place my middle row here, and I want to place it between the 2 lower flowers here. So you see the triangle shape there. You can also make giant roses by using smaller marshmallows and just make them less giant. Use your number 124. It just creates a really nice base for really large roses, and it's very lightweight, and it allows you to place them where you normally wouldn't be able to place them, really hanging off things. It just makes things very 3D. I've even done really large sunflowers with the same method. It's awesome. It gives you a lot of versatility. Down to my very last flower. So I will do that one for you one more time so you can get a look. Two, 3, and 4, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Notice how I'm turning my skewer and not so much my bag. One last flower. And I'm going to go ahead and place that last one right down in, being really careful not to get the other roses with my scissors. And you can see that my pink kind of fades in and out around my bouquet. So we've got all of our roses placed, and now we need a little accent leaf. Now surprisingly, we don't need a giant leaf, but we want to use a larger leaf tip. This is a number 70. And I don't know if you can see well with the camera, but it's a flat leaf tip with a little V in the end. It's a number 70. We just want a few accents. You see I've got my bag striped as usual, which is some very pale green on the outside and white on the inside. So I want to tuck in between two of my flowers, use a real light pressure, and zigzag back and forth, just like we did with our garlands. Then I want to release my pressure and pull away. We want our leaves to stand out just a little, and we want them also just to peek through. We're going to use our triangle rule again, so you can see you've got basically a triangle of 3 leaves, and if you basically use that rule, you won't end up with too many leaves or leaves that feel awkward and out of place. There we go, and I think that's about all we want. Maybe one more right there. So I hope you had fun learning how to make giant roses and a big cake topper. This cake's a lot of fun. I love doing these giant roses. They're great, especially because they have the skewer on them. They can be placed almost anywhere, so you could make a gorgeous cascade or even just use them one at a time. So remember to subscribe. It's always free. You can find me at The Art of Frosting on Facebook. You can find me at www.theartoffrosting.blogspot.com, where I share a lot of your work with the rest of our cake decorating community. So you can send me those pictures at cakedecoratinginstructor@gmail.com. You can also send me serious cake decorating questions, stories, or things you want to know about. Serious cake decorating stuff though only, guys, okay? So thanks for watching. Lots more to come, and I will see you all again really soon. Bye. Thanks again.